Is visible?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So I will straight away jump. So today's topic is assessments and adjudication under GST. So basically, agenda for the discussion is department audit and assessment. Now, department audit and assessment, there used to be 3 before. Now, government has cut down 1 and there is only 2. So before that, can anybody answer what was the third one? One is assessment, one is department audit. There was something third. What is that which is gone now from financial year 2021?
So members audit, chartered accountant was.
Yes. So a
GST audit.
GST audit has gone. So reconciliation statement which has to be signed by a chartered accountant or a cost accountant is gone now. So there is only 2 types of this, you can say audit assessment. So if you go into assessments, so first I'll cover assessments and then audit. So when I'm telling about all these assessments and audits, these are the only scope available for the department to send you notice. So this is per se not a notice or an what is an inquiry. So each section has got its own meaning, has its own scope, and it is not necessary under each section there is a provision to send a notice, which we can come one by one. So basically assessment and audit. So what are assessments, what are audits will come. So in assessments you have self-assessment, provisional assessment, scrutiny of returns, assessment of non-filers of return, assessment of unregistered persons, summary assessments in special cases. So basically there are 6 types of assessments: 59, 60, 61, 62, 63 and 64 are the sections under CGST Act and the local state GST Acts where assessments are covered, and audit by the department and special audit by the department. So these are the scope of today's discussion. So first, so again, the assessments I have broken into self-assessment, provisional assessment, scrutiny assessments. I request everybody keep this in mind. See, these are the scope of GST law to have an inquiry on you. So it can be self-assessment, which is your self-assessment, provisional assessment, scrutiny assessment, assessment of non-filers of returns, assessment of unregistered person, and summary assessment. Now we'll go into definitions. We have to understand some basic definitions before we go into this assessments individually. So what is an assessment? Assessment means determination of tax liability under this act and includes self-assessment, reassessment, provisional assessment, summary assessment, and best judgment assessment. So they have given the scope of assessment. Who is a proper officer? See, most of the provisions in assessment, they will refer to proper officer. There is something which refers to authorized officers. There is something they refer to proper officers. So who are these proper officers? Proper officer in relation to any function to be performed under this act means the commissioner or officer of the central tax who is assigned that function by the commissioner in the board. So this definition is taken from the CGST Act. So it says commissioner or officer of the central tax. So if you go to the state GST law, you'll have commissioner or the officers of the state tax. Registered person means a person who is registered under section 25, but does not include a person having a unique identity number. Now, unique identity number is given to non-residents who don't have PAN, who don't have any existence in India. So they are given a unique identity number. So please bear in mind, the persons who are having this unique identity number are not registered persons as per law. In provisions of law, they write separately registered person, write separately unique identity person. So these two are two different things. So unique identity number person is not a registered person as per GST law. Then return means any return prescribed or otherwise required to be furnished by or under this act or the rules made thereunder. So return means any return prescribed. So 3B, there was a High Court decision which said 3B is not a return. But then later government amended the section and a retrospective amendment was made so that 3B could have been, they made 3B a legal form, legal return. So return is any return prescribed or otherwise required to be furnished under the act. Taxable person means a person who is registered or liable to be registered. So very important, taxable person necessarily is not a person who is registered. So person who was supposed to be registered but not registered also is a taxable person. Valid return means a return furnished under subsection 1 of section 39 on which self-assessment tax has been paid in full.